Ready.
Set.
Gamecast.
Welcome to Ready Set Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and turkey crimes. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by Darian, the lawyer defending the turkey.
I don't know how to do lawyer speak. I'm sorry.
And Matt.
Objection.
And
Are
Matt.
you the other lawyer?
Objection.
Matt! The turkey prosecutor.
That turkey did crimes and now deserves the delicious basting and frying and limb removal and then dousing it in gravy, and then I'll eat it.
Now, I think if my turkey pleads guilty, it'll lessen the sentence, right?
Darian, why do you believe this turkey should be pardoned?
Oh.
I like how she's just like, I'm just gonna jump to their guilty and
Well,
see what happens.
It makes sense.
So this turkey's admitting guilt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll settle this.
For what's your offer?
The best we can do is an oven roasting
Wait.
As opposed to
a deep fry. And a stuffing. We'll keep the stuffing outside. We won't jam it in there. We won't be putting any turkeys or chickens or ducks or chickens inside the turkey. Just keep it,
Have you guys ever heard of the spatchcock method for cooking your turkey?
I don't like turkey. Well,
The what
sometimes
cock?
I like turkey.
It's called spatchcock. And basically you take
Can you
the
say that?
turkey. Spatchcock. Yeah, I think it's a word. I think it's somebody's name.
That's tough.
Yeah. Basically, you take the turkey and you cut out its spine, and then you lay it flat.
The turkey guitar thing? I saw the street food video where they made like a duck guitar.
No.
Okay.
No. So instead, I'm going to put it in general. So basically, you just like flatten it instead so it takes less time to cook.
How odd.
Yeah. It reduces your cooking time of the turkey from like 4+ hours to like literally like an hour and a half.
Huh.
Because it's just a more even heating and it's less work. You just have to flatten it in the pan, and you still season it and you know, brine it or whatever you do with turkeys. I don't know. I've never made a turkey. But I have 2 of them in my freezer right now.
Why?
2 whole turkeys?
Yeah, because my mom got a bunch of turkeys for free this year, I guess. And she doesn't like turkey. So she gave them to me.
When Bryce first said turkey crime, I didn't think we were talking about the turkeys committing crimes. I thought it was the crimes we were committing against the turkey. But I had to play it out and prosecute that turkey, and I kind of feel bad.
Turkeys are a sustainable resource, aren't they?
It was a thing of with the president always pardons the turkey, and so it was like you guys were the turkey prosecutor.
They're always
What?
named things like Butterball.
You don't every year around Thanksgiving, the president always pardons the turkey so that they like don't get eaten,
And they go retire on like the turkey farm.
Yeah.
Upstate or something.
Darian looks very shocked right now.
It's not like when your dog goes to live on the farm.
I've never heard of that.
Well, it's a thing that exists.
That's white people shit, man.
I mean, it's presidential
Thanksgiving
shit.
kinda is.
Thanksgiving is like
when
like
you think
Happy
about
Colonizer Day. Like
Yeah.
I've been really uncomfortable with Thanksgiving this year because I've never been quite as aware of how terrible my country was until this year. Like I've been happily ignorant, and then this year I'm just like, wow, our whole country sucks. The whole way our country started sucks. Like I am uncomfortable. Like, I don't like this. One of my best friends is a native girl, and we just like to joke about how terrible white people like are and how like terrible they used to be. Like,
I know the deal with American Thanksgiving. I know Canadians have a Thanksgiving. I don't know like what theirs is up with. Like, do they also be like, yeah, we also shared food with natives. It was cool too.
And then we decided to take all the land and then give them little swaths of land.
Yeah, we're
so
like
basically in the 50s, the Governor General of Canada, Vincent Massey, issued a proclamation stating a day of general thanksgiving to Almighty God for the bountiful harvest with which Canada has been blessed, to be observed in the second Monday in October.
So
it's a religious holiday for them.
So yeah, sort of the same thing,
Yes.
but nothing to do with like, hey, we ate food with the Native Americans with them. They were just like, we harvested real good. Weird. Okay, so this is the Ready Set Gamecast holiday special. Snow's now falling down because that's holidays.
Oh,
even
cool.
though
I can't wait for that in the
this
video
is
version.
Thanksgiving. Even though we're all wearing festive sweaters, so it's more of a Thanksgiving or more of a Christmas episode than Thanksgiving. But we're just gonna talk about what we've been playing. And because Darian's Googling things, I'm going to ask Matt what he's been playing.
I wasn't just Googling things. I was Googling the real history of Thanksgiving so that I could be reminded why I actually hate this holiday.
The real history is that you just get to eat food now.
Well, yeah, now it's just like, it's better, right? But like the first Thanksgiving was a fucking trap where they just killed natives. It's kind of fucked up. Don't like it.
Is that how it actually went?
Pretty sure.
There was like a murder after dinner?
Yep, pretty
Man,
much.
imagine if we kept traditions up. That would be wild.
It's one way to do population thinning.
It's just like, yeah, ritual sacrifice at that point. Jesus.
And the actual wishbone ceremony. This is.
Oh God.
I don't think that's a real thing. But imagine like if that was like it's just a tournament to see who has to be sacrificed, and just whoever loses the wishbone, it ultimately comes down to that, and then that person dies. Like,
this could have been Thanksgiving.
yeah,
We dodged it.
It could
very
have been so
closely.
much worse. Could
Bryce
still
is
be
like-
so much worse. Bryce is done with this conversation.
It was like, this is getting edited out.
It's like, I'm not entertaining this at all.
Matt, what have you been playing?
I just finished yesterday Spider-Man Miles Morales.
I'll talk about it during mine, but what do you think? I was gonna like lead in a separate but related conversation, but like let's just hear what you thought of Miles Morales.
I like those games. I like the Spider-Man open world formula. Whatever they're doing, it's the appropriate amount of open world for me. Like, I am not looking for a 30-hour open world game, a 60-hour open world game. I probably spent close to 10 hours in the game. Was able to go do all the collectibles, all the open world, enemy hideouts and stuff, and do the story. And I don't know, it just feels good to be able to do that. So I think overall, that's like the perfect size open world game for me.
I mean, it's also a special kind of open world because, like, sure, there's a big world, but you're basically just swinging over it.
Right.
There's all these buildings.
And I think that's a huge part of it, though, is just like moving in that world is just fun, right? Like getting around that world's fun.
Bryce, will you buy me this Spider-Man game so I can spite finish this one too?
See, I was gonna bring that up of like, so I pressured Darian into playing the original Spider-Man, and she hated it.
Oh.
and I
Like,
very
really
much
bad.
I very much see the first Spider-Man had a lot of issues. It was way too long. The like in person, like the Miles and MJ missions were just bad.
I like the MJ one in the train station.
I liked you were at least doing Spider-Man stuff with that. The later Miles one where he actually had gadgets at least gave you something to do. But like this entire mission is just running around stealth wise, and you have nothing that you can do. You're just hoping the guys walk away. Was bad. The like puzzle stuff with like the figure out what chemical this is was bad.
Yeah, I kind of like that puzzle.
I liked it in small doses, but there was like way too many of them. When they added the patch later that just lets you skip all the puzzles, that was the best thing they've done.
It out.
Yeah, well, yeah. You can now
Did I finish the game before they did that, or did I just?
I believe so.
Yeah, I just
believe...
remembered raging so hard at that game. Oh my god.
But yeah, the game was like way too long because they have way too many villains because they like
the first one, right?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, I think the first one got a little tired with like the progression of the boss fights and the villains there.
Yeah, because you had like the smaller villains, and then because you're like, oh, I know who the main bad guy is. It's Mr. Negative. He's right there. Right. And so you're like, but you have to like deal with the little guys because they escape from the raft, and you gotta send them back to the raft. And then you're like finally fight Mr. Negative, and spoilers for the first Spider-Man. Turns out that wasn't actually the guy, and then you have the like final thing.
Yeah, but like that final one was actually pretty goddamn good.
It was,
and it was building to it the whole time.
Final, like the final battle of the game, it was difficult, but it was very like poetic and artistic. Like I liked it a lot.
I think they took that aspect and really applied it to Miles Morales.
Yeah, I think Miles Morales is they watched and listened to all the complaints and fixed so many things. Like the side missions, the crime stuff, you can just swipe into them. You can just go
I should try this game.
Oh yeah, they give you like an on-demand app interface that you can go do crimes. You can go fight crime.
I can go do crimes. Yes.
You can do the side missions, and they'll unlock as you progress through some of the story stuff or some of the collectible stuff. You'll get more side missions, and all of that's like on demand between missions. And they'll give you that brief period between main story missions where like, oh, I should go swing around the city for a little bit, and then like 5 minutes later, it'll prompt you, okay, the next mission's opened up.
But you don't have, you can continue doing side stuff.
Yeah.
I never went to the missions when they said, hey, I should go talk to the blah blah. I was like, I'm gonna go do this stuff, and then when I feel like continuing the story, I continue the story.
I wasn't big on the combat in this one initially, and as the upgrade tree unlocked, I think it's better. I think it's overall a better combat system than the first game. I wish there were some more web gadget abilities that the first one had. This one kind of lacked in that. Yeah,
so I got the Ultimate Edition or whatever that came with the remaster of the original one, so I kind of been messing around with the original, having played Miles Morales, and definitely there's some big differences between Miles and Peter, whereas Peter was very gadget heavy.
Yeah.
Where I think he had like twice as many gadgets compared to Miles, but Miles has more straight up powers where he has his Venom.
Yeah, he has this Venom electricity ability.
Yeah, so you have those, but also those are kind of tricky because those are tied to your stamina. So there's many times that I would go like, okay, I need to Venom punch this guy, but also I need to not die, so I need to use my stamina to heal.
Yeah, it's a lot about like comboing and dodging to build your stamina or to build your Venom, and then unleashing, a big AoE Venom attack. Basically, is what I did a lot of the time.
Yeah. My one big complaint with that situation was the late boss battle, which I'm sure you'll know, where you had to Venom attack him to be able to make him vulnerable to any sort of damage. And so I was constantly getting really close. Like, I had a Venom ready to go, then I get hit with an attack, and it's like, okay, I need to heal. So then I had to go back and try and charge up, and it took me forever just because.
Yeah, I died a handful of times on that fight because I was trying to kind of figure out what I needed to do effectively to keep that Venom charge.
Yeah, I basically never died because I always, if my health was ever low, I dumped my stamina straight into my health. But that limited the amount of times I could Venom
That
punch.
specific boss fight was the only one that was kind of similar to the first Spider-Man's boss fights, I felt. Where the other ones that occurred after that were more just kind of a brawl with some like defined cinematic points of like, okay, this is stage 1 of this fight, now it's checkpointed, this is stage 2 of this fight.
Yeah, I very much liked that with Miles more than the first game, because like they had these bigger battles that like felt like, oh, this is a boss like situation, but not like when you're fighting like Scorpion in the first one, where you're like, you have to fight him in this very particular way and do these very particular things, where instead it's like you have to fight a bunch of these special guys in a confined area that feels like you need to play smart.
Right. And or like there's a specific kind of puzzle to this, right? You have to do, you have to hit these specific points on the map to drop something on them or whatever, and that makes them vulnerable. That kind of thing.
The other thing that I think makes Miles more fun to play was that if you get spotted, that doesn't mean you're just screwed with stealth because of his camouflage ability.
Yeah. So similar to how I wasn't hot on the combat to begin with until I upgraded way more of like the ability tree. It's the same with the stealth. I was like, this feels kind of like a forced in feature, and I'm not really hot on it. And then as I unlocked the skill tree, I was like, okay, this is super useful. Like getting into stealth after being seen and, going and hiding and getting stealth mode again, and kind of manipulating enemies that way, where you can like literally drop in stealth, stand next to one of them and punch them in the face. And it's like, it got a lot more fun. And I think the skill tree progression stuff almost, I don't know, maybe if like an older style of just like you've unlocked this ability over, at this point in the story would be something I want, or if like the skill tree is better. I don't know if there's a better solution for that.
I felt good throughout. Like I felt like just having the standard invisibility, being able to turn that on, worked good. I don't think I really played with the like auto turn on going during the normal game. I'm going New Game Plus right now, so I'll have that ability. But I haven't had to use it so much because it works so well. Of like you get spotted, you go invisible, and then you just jump up somewhere, and then they like take a second to like look around of where'd he go, and then they're back to normal. Like they might be a little bit more like jumpy around, but you can very much stealth people.
The underground faction of enemies will do a little more to like actually actively look for you. Like they'll start like boost jumping up to the high places and stuff and try to run into you.
But that almost helps you because like because guys will be like standing right next to each other, so that you can never stealth them unless you do something. But then if they're jumping around, you can get in a position where you can grab them while they're not somewhere near somebody.
Yeah.
So Miles' established superpowers work very well to improve the lackings of the first game, and then just they did a lot of things of just they made the game so much shorter, so much more digestible, and they don't have a freaking million villains of like, oh, when are we gonna get to the dude guy? It was a very like clear, simple story that like worked in a really good way.
They really nailed that story and brought it home at the end. And I think that whole last mission is just like 10 out of 10. Fantastic mission.
For what 100%, like that boss battle, like felt like that last sequence where they're like throwing stuff at you, and all you basically have to do is dodge right before it hits you. You look so badass when you do it.
That was actually, so Darian said like she really liked the last boss of the first game, and this boss fight was very similar in that regard, but I think they like stepped up the visual design almost to it. Like it felt very, even more cinematic and even more just like powerful, I guess. I think they did a lot of really cool visual stuff during that whole last mission.
I feel like even with all the boss battles in this game felt more like playing normal Spider-Man stuff, whereas previous boss battles, even that, especially that final boss battle in the first one, where you had to like grab this specific thing and then throw it, and then you could finally make him vulnerable. This one involved you just had to hit her,
spoilers.
It's there's a girl in the game. So you could like I used my hollow guys. I used all my tricks in my bag to hurt them. And I didn't have to do it like a pre-described way. Whereas with fighting the final boss in the first game, you had to do it the specific way. I couldn't use all my fancy gadgets,
right?
And whatever, you had to do it. Whereas this way, I could fight them
you
however
just spam
I wanted.
The like AI bots, and then
I loved it when like they were about to do an attack, and then like the hollow drones like slapped them, and I'm like, cool, I love you guys. I do prefer Peter's drones because they like flew around better, whereas these guys are actually on the ground and can kind of be a little bit distracting. But overall, like, they tightened everything up so much. And I will say, I don't know if this is a thing going right now, but I have beaten so many games since the PS5 came out just because they feel shorter. Like they feel more reasonable. Like the first one felt like they just put way too much in it because games have to be so long. And it's like, this was a good length. 10 hours is perfect.
Where do you think they're going next with the Spider-Man stuff? Are they going to do Spider-Gwen, or are they going to do a Peter and Miles team up? Because they tease something very similar to the tease post-credits at the first one.
Well, I mean, I think they're bringing it back to that where they were leading the story the first time. So Spider-Man 2, I guess is going to be, Peter's story. And possibly involve like you playing Miles. I
bet it's split.
Yeah, I'm not. I could see it being mostly
Peter split with some Miles interject.
Yeah, with some. But what would be really cool is if they let you pick. You could play any mission as Peter, or like you could literally like, hey, select your character. Who do you want to play right now? Would be a really cool way to do it. I don't.
Yeah, like almost GTA style. Like you zoom out of Peter and you zoom into Miles on this side of the city or something, and he's like doing something else, swinging already.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Like obviously some missions might require you to play certain characters, but like for most missions you can play either one. Would be a really, really great way to handle it. I don't think I don't like the idea of them just kind of checking off all the boxes of the Spider-Verse movie.
Right.
Of like, okay, so they had Spider-Gwen, now we gotta get North Spider-Man, now we gotta get...
What's the pig one? Yeah.
Spider-Pig, yeah.
Spider-Pig.
That's, yeah, they don't need to go that way.
Spider-Ham.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Spider-Pig is The Simpsons.
I'd play that. It's just Homer holding a pig running around.
So yeah, Spider-Man Miles Morales is really good. It fixes...
I really liked it.
Yeah,
so don't sleep on it.
I think you might actually like this one, Darian.
And I played it on the base PS4. It looks fine. Like games look good still on the PS4. you know.
Yeah. I will say, like, I still have a 1080p TV, so like the visual capability I don't think is being adjusted too much for me, but the difference between PS4 and PS5 is the controller. Really, like the adaptive triggers where you can feel it every time you're swinging is the thing. But yeah, it's dope. And one more thing about Miles Morales. The soundtrack is so good. Like every song that comes on is great, like with lyrics, but even like the background music has like Miles's vibe to it. It's very, very good. Yeah, soundtrack's very good. It's also on Spotify.
Nice.
Check it out.
The other game I've been spending time playing is Don't Starve Together, which I talked about last episode. I've been playing co-op with my girlfriend, and we had a good run going that a couple nights ago ended when the Deerclops came and started smashing our settlement and killed us both in one shot. And the Deerclops is like this giant Cyclops deer that came in the middle of the night. On day 30, we were like, oh, we're gonna get out of winter soon. We're doing well. We still got berries. Our traps are doing well. We've got the bunnies. This is sustainable. And then he just shows up and wiped us out. And we took a day off and then started a new game yesterday. And we made it to I think we're on day 20 now, and things are going okay. It's going all right. But Don't Starve, I feel like I never really gave it the time it deserves. And now I think I'm just going to keep consistently playing it co-op for a while and see how far we can get. Maybe we'll get to the point where we can just survive indefinitely. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, okay, so I don't know if you know this, but really your goal should be to collect a few different items that will allow you to create a portal to jump to another world.
I didn't know that.
And then I believe to properly win, I think you have to jump to 5 different worlds, but the world you end up in is random, so it could be a world that is always winter, or something that is harder, and you can keep the stuff that you have on you, but obviously your base is
right, any of your structures.
Yeah, so you can okay, we're gonna jump into the portal, let's make sure we have what we have to go. So you need to have a survivable base because you need to explore and seek out these items to be able to create this portal to jump to the next world.
Okay.
So yeah, you have a goal beyond just survival.
I'm gonna get to survive sustainably in the first world, because that's hard enough. That game throws all sorts of little wrinkles at you, like the Deerclops coming in the middle of the night, and it's 100 feet tall, and it just wipes you out.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played. I think I jumped worlds once. I don't quite remember. I just remembered that the materials I needed, I think you have to. I think they're related to the chess piece guys, and I think I managed to kill one of the chess piece guys, and the other chess piece guys somehow killed each other. So I managed to just grab this stuff, and build it real quick, and then jumped, and then I think I had none of my stuff and died immediately.
That's actually one of my favorite things in the game, is that even though everything's hostile towards you for the most part, they're also hostile towards each other.
Oh yeah, so you can just be oh, I'm being chased by a thing, run towards something else that is big, and hey, fight each other. And now
I ended up with a bunch of monster meat because the wolves came and attacked, and we ran to the beefalo.
Ooh,
the beefalo killed the wolves, and I got the monster meat. And it's you can put that in a crock pot and make it, okay to eat for you. But I went to the pigs that were nearby, and I gave 6 of them monster meat. And they're all hey, we're your friend now. And they just followed me. So then I took all the pigs and I went to the spider nest, and I just basically, poked the spider nest until they all came out. And then the pigs just killed all the spiders for me. And so then I collected all like the web and all the spider supplies with the pigs. And then something else happened. Oh, I was cutting down trees because the pigs get scared at night, so I was like lighting a fire to keep light around for them. And I was cutting down trees, and if you cut down too many trees, basically a tree turns into an ent. Yeah. And then the ent is like super powerful. So then he killed all the pigs that that had been fighting for me. So then I collected all the pig meat, and I basically had that circle. I was like, oh, I guess it's the circle of life. And I just took that pig meat and went home, and I had meat, and I had spider supplies, and I had wolf meat to get to that point.
Yeah, I always like to set up base near a pig camp because it's like shit wanders in, then the pigs you can just like run to the pig's house and be like, protect me. But I know like you can't set up too close because they'll get cranky with you. But yeah, the pigs are not hostile towards you unless you do something against them.
Yeah.
So they're dope.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing. And I'm in the process of downloading Elder Scrolls Online, so I don't know why. I feel like cozy MMO grinding sounds like the thing I want. So we'll see how that goes.
Darren, what have you been gaming?
I've been hunting a lot of ghosts in Phasmophobia.
Did you catch
patiently
any?
You don't catch the ghosts.
Oh.
Yeah, in fact, you don't actually hunt them. You just try to identify them and not be killed by them. And that's been fun. I really like that game. Sometimes it makes my anxiety a little bit too high, though, because it is a spoopy game.
It's like legitimately a scary game? Because if it is, I feel like I can't do that.
You definitely want to play with friends. And it can be incredibly immersive. So, like, initially, it's super high on your nerves. But once you've played a couple of rounds and kind of have an idea of what's going on, then you get desensitized to it pretty easily. Like, my friend group and I have gotten to a point where, like, even if the ghost starts hunting, as long as we know it's not a specific kind of ghost, like, we're not even, like, whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
We know how to get away. It's fine.
Whatever.
I still don't handle it well because of my anxiety. Like, sometimes I'm just like, all right, you guys have fun with that. I'm going to chill in the truck. But for the most part, like, it's pretty chill. It's just really immersive. It's really cool. I want to try it in VR. That sounds great.
Yeah, I kind of want to do the me and Becker's Let's Play in VR, but also like I feel like other people watching VR gameplay can be iffy.
Honestly, watching that game in general is not super great unless you have lots of good banter. Like, you guys have to have lots of good chemistry to make that game entertaining for others.
Well, it's me.
I try not to stream it because it's just not that entertaining to watch. It can be pretty dry for watchers.
Also, we have the advantage that it's a video, so we can edit it down to the best parts.
Yeah.
We have a Let's Play out of them fighting herds, which like playing was super boring, but it's like the final version's somewhat alright, watchable. I don't know, it got way more views than it deserves. Mostly because I think people think all of them fighting herds videos are going to be like elite gameplay, and it's both of us just like throwing fruit at each other in a very bad way.
What else is going on with Phasmophobia? Are you looking forward to their roadmap?
So the roadmap, not a whole lot of progress since last time, but they have released teaser images for the prison level, and that map looks amazing. That map is going to be so terrifying to play on because instead of having like closed off rooms like most of the other ones do, there's just a lot of cells and open places because when you're in prison, you're pretty closely monitored, right? So like it's going to be way harder to hide from the ghost in there. So I'm really excited though. The map looks like they're putting in a lot of work into it, and it looks legit. I'm really excited for that.
Too legit to quit.
Yeah, too legit to quit. they're still also working on a bunch of other stuff, like the mansion level and an apartment level and stuff. And they fixed a couple of bugs. I bet there's another big patch coming in like the next week or so. Or maybe 2 weeks. If it happens before the show, I'll give a pretty light update about the cool stuff. Other than Phasmophobia, I've been playing League of Legends. They just announced a new champion. Her name is Rel. She rides a horse and has a lance. Yeah, she looks badass.
Oh.
Is she naked?
No. What?
There was that one chick from history who rode a horse naked.
Are you talking about Joan of Arc?
Was it her? Naked?
No, probably
That
not.
one chick from history that rode a horse naked.
Lady Guinevere. Lady Godiva. That's the word. Lady Godiva.
Okay.
Was that real?
There's a statue of her.
That doesn't mean she's real.
She died in Old English. She looks to be a real person. A patron of various churches. Today she is mainly remembered for a legend dating back to at least the 13th century in which she rode naked, covered only in her long hair, through the streets of Coventry to gain a remission of the oppressive taxation that her husband, Leofric, imposed on his tenants. The name Peeping Tom for a voyeur originates from later versions of this legend in which a man named Thomas watched her ride and was struck blind or dead.
So that's a myth for sure.
But Lady Godiva,
it is still associated with a real person, though.
Yes.
Okay. No, she's not like that. She's more of a Joan of Arc figure because she's like a super powerful, like warrior-esque woman.
But she's
who
also
has
like
been slighted.
But she's also like Lady Godiva because she has a horse.
No, that's not how that works.
Everyone who rides a horse is a little bit like Lady Godiva.
Nope. And then I also played a little bit more Witcher, which was really fun. I'm starting to get the hang of the game. I got past the tutorial for sure, which has been a little exciting. So now I get to explore the whole world, and the world is scary. There's a lot of stuff I can't handle.
Now you can get so much Gwent cards.
I haven't played Gwent again.
Gwent.
I knew that I don't want to get too enamored in that particular side quest.
I will tell you this. There's a thing later on where I think there's a guy who is like, hey, I will let you in this place, or I will let you do this thing if you beat me in a game of Gwent.
See, I did play Gwent one more time, and I got just absolutely rage-filled because, like, this man had a deck and he just kept drawing cards, and it was impossible for me to even come close to beating him. And I was like, fuck this game. I can just go bash people with my sword. Why am I playing cards?
Welcome to Magic the Gathering. You gotta get more cards.
I don't like Magic either, so I guess that makes sense.
Gotta get them cards. I feel like every shop has at least like one Gwent card.
Probably. I've seen them just about everywhere. I just haven't bought any of them. Gold seems to be hard to come across. I seem to be constantly out of gold, so I don't spend the gold on Gwent cards. I need other things.
Is the Witcher TV show any good?
Yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely.
It's an adaptation of the books, not the games. I think they've clearly said, like, we're not going to adapt the games. It
takes a little bit of creative freedom. I've listened to the first 2 books of The Witcher, and, like, they're written, like, each chapter is, like, a short story. So the book kind of is making more of a little bit of a cohesive timeline, sort of. They're not, like, the show, sorry, I think I said the book. The show is trying to make it a more of a cohesive timeline.
Yeah. I think it's adapting like several books into a.
Yeah, because the books, again, they just jump all over the place. Like, I've listened to the first 2 books, and it's really hard to understand, like, where in time they are, and, like, pre or post the child surprise and stuff. And they kind of do a similar thing in the series.
Yeah, that's like, I think when you first start watching the show, you're like, okay, so this is all happening. And then about, like, episode 5, you're like, no, this can't be at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So
it makes it a little bit hard to follow, but
yeah,
they're definitely making it less hard to follow than the books were. So that's good. At least by the end of season 1, you've got a little bit of an idea of like what happened, like what's present and what's in the past. In the books, it's virtually impossible to tell until something very specific is mentioned, and sometimes it doesn't get mentioned.
Yeah, at the end of season 1, I think everyone's caught up. Like everybody's existing in the same timeline, because like everybody's. You have the 3 like main characters, and basically their stories exist in different times, and then sometimes they overlap until a point where like literally all of those stories catch up to each other chronologically. Welcome to Witcher Talk.
Yeah.
Toss a
honestly,
coin.
the series is great.
That's the only thing I know about The Witcher, honestly.
I will say this. I don't think the toss a coin to your Witcher song is that good. It's fine.
I think it's just
a
a
little
meme.
disappointed by it.
It's all right. It's not as the banger that everybody makes it out to be.
How many remixes of it have you listened to, though, Bryce? Maybe you just haven't found the right one.
I think I listened to like the standard remix.
Oh yeah, no. Look up more like look up a trap remix. Look up a classical remix. Try a metal remix. Maybe you'll find one that jives with you more than the regular one.
Or I could just listen to other music.
Nah, why would you do that?
If they have to remix the song so that it sounds different, isn't it just basically a new song now with just similar lyrics?
Maybe.
Okay.
Kinda.
Ooh, I'm getting tired. Can we wrap this up? I want to go make tacos.
I'm gonna have an afternoon coffee.
Are you done?
Yeah, I've got another cup of coffee waiting for me.
Are you done talking about your games?
I think so.
Okay.
All right, great show, everyone. Right, we got all the games.
Screw you, Bryce. No.
Yeah, I finished Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'm New Game Plus in it. I might plat it. We'll see how I'm feeling.
I heard it's a pretty easy plat.
That's one thing that I've heard about these 2 games is that like the first one and this one, they're both relatively accessible plats, which is really nice.
I don't know. The first Spider-Man, I don't know if it's that
It was close, because I think on my regular playthrough, I got like 98% completion or something.
Yeah, I got like 75% of all of the trophies in my one rage playthrough. Because I couldn't not go get all of the backpacks, so
yeah. my only problem with the plat list for Miles Morales is that you have to beat the New Game Plus. Like you have to play the game twice to plat it, and it's like, really? Like, I mean, couldn't we just wrap it up in one? And also,
I don't like that.
Yeah, it does. Isn't that how Kingdom Hearts plats are as well, though? You have to play them through in like proud mode.
No idea.
That's why I'll never have a plat.
I've never.
The only one I have, I think, is Destiny 1.
This
Cool.
isn't on my list, but I platted a different game recently. I bought My Name is Mayo 2. I wanted to see what all the hype was, and
what?
Yes, so
that was almost perfect.
There's a game called My Name is Mayo. Which I bought the sequel, My Name is Mayo 2, and basically it is a game where you just repeatedly click a bottle of mayo over and over again, and there's some small story stuff, which it's very bizarre stuff going on, and basically if you just sit there and tap the X button enough times, you'll receive a platinum.
Oh, good. It takes 35 minutes or an hour to play My Name is Mayo 2 for a completionist.
Yep.
and 53 minutes for the first one. Wow, maybe I'll buy both of these games, and those will be the only plats I ever acquire. Thanks, Bryce. It'll be the most chaotic trophy collection.
I actually tested. I actually platted it while I was remote playing it. It's actually a very good game to remote play on your phone, so you can just sit there while you watch TV and tap the X button.
Oh my
god.
There's a lot of mobile games that'll do that and have like progression forever.
Yeah, but will you get a platinum for it? You gotta get that plat.
What if they included what if they were like, this is our own platinum?
No, you need that PlayStation plat. So yeah, Spider-Man Miles Morales, I'll probably poke around with it a little bit more, seeing as there's only so many PlayStation 5 games to mess with, and that's one of them.
There's only like 2 truly only on PlayStation 5 games.
Sure. So my qualification for me to consider it a PlayStation 5 game is if it supports the adaptive triggers.
Okay.
If it supports that, like Miles Morales does, Bugsnax does.
Ooh, Bugsnax.
Yeah, there's actually like 6 to 8 games, right, that are actually out right now, like between Call of Duty and Spider-Man and Demon Souls, Bugsnax, Astro, I guess.
Yes, because if it supports the adaptive triggers and Rumble, it is supporting the new hardware to its fullest. So as long as it does that, I will count it as a true PlayStation 5 game. If it's on PlayStation 4, it's fine, but like I am getting a unique experience on PlayStation 5. But speaking of which, I have also finished Bugsnax, which I will say I am loving this shorter game lifestyle. I've not finished a game in so long, and I've finished several in the last 2 weeks, and I am
hearty applause. Yes. Make games 10 hours or less.
Yes, make them so I can actually play them. Bugsnax is cool. It has a weird cast of characters who have their own like kind of stories that they're all like super weird, and you feed them Bugsnax and they look super weird, but they all kind of have their own things going on. They're all like messed up in their own ways, and you kind of like helping them figure themselves out throughout the game. All the advertisement for Bugsnax has been like, look at this hamburger, it's got legs, da da da. But like the game is about catching them, and you'll have different tools and stuff to do so. And it could be something like, and so your main thing is that you have a camera that you take pictures of the Bugsnax, which scans them, and then you can know what's up with them. So you can like take a picture of a hamburger, and you will see that it likes ketchup. So then what you can do, like, you can use that to maybe lure it over to your trap, or like a hamburger is actually too powerful to be caught by a standard trap. So what you might actually have to do is put ketchup, like a slingshot ketchup, onto a hamburger, and then another hamburger will attack it and knock it out, allowing you to then grab it. So it's all about kind of like looking at the different snacks and figuring out like how to make them interact with each other, with your traps, to catch them. And then like the different people of the town will go like, hey, I need to figure out myself. Maybe if I eat a Frieder, then I will become my true self. And at the end of the day, like, you know, they ask for all these Bugsnax, but it doesn't like help them. They realize that their true strength is in their own self, or blah blah blah, but it's just excuses to catch Bugsnax, because that's what the game is. The story goes some crazy places, which I won't get into, but definitely like the last act is something else. It's very cool. My one complaint with it is it doesn't have one of those like after credits where you can keep playing. Like it has a hard exit to the game. So if you want to plat the game, you have to plat it before the last act, which they do give you a warning of like, this is the point of no return. If you want to like catch all the Bugsnax or do any side missions, you have to do it now. But I was like, I want to see the end of the story, so I did that. Go ahead.
If you reload your save after beating it, does it go back to that point?
I actually hadn't tried. I kind of like finished the story and I was like, okay, I think I kind of got what I wanted out of it, and like I'll be honest, like many of the Bugsnax are just kind of annoying to deal with. You don't actually take damage, but you can get like knocked around, you can get frozen, you can get lit on fire, and then you'll just like, if you're lit on fire, you'll just kind of run around panicking for a while and then you could either like run into water to put yourself out, or the fire will eventually go out. The issue with that is like a Bugsnax might be like knocked out for like 5 seconds. So if you're lit on fire, you can't catch him because you are on fire. There's also things of like, you might be able to knock out a Bugsnax, but that Bugsnax is on fire. So if you go to try and catch him, you will be lit on fire and not catch him. So there's like different things of like, okay, so I need to get him to walk into water so he's not on fire. Then I need to knock him out, and then I need to place a trap. And did it. So there's many steps to some of the guys, but like catching them all, it's like there's 100 different Bugsnax, and
gotta catch them all. That
if you were like 150 Pokemon, that sounds a great amount. Then maybe this is for you. 150 was
100 Bugsnax or more to see.
Hold on, do they all have cool unique names like Pokemon? I put it in a rap format?
Probably. I will say that they do have some varieties where there's like a hamburger
with cheese.
Well, no, so there's a standard hamburger, and then there's also a barbecue hamburger. So they're like similar but slightly
One's
different.
got mushrooms and barbecue sauce, maybe some bacon.
Bunger. He's a bunger. Thank you to Fire Turtle 789 in the chat. Also, me and Fire Turtle 789 have been playing through Hyrule Warriors on the Nintendo Switch. It's fun. It's grindy. The story is kind of interesting. Like I'm curious where things are going. I did get the big fancy sword that all the kids are about.
The Sword of Legend.
Yep, that one. Honestly, I will say it's kind of ugly. It's an ugly sword. Nah. Yep, that one. The Master Sword. He is currently unsheathed.
It smells.
But it's cool to play the different characters. And overall, every character feels unique. They have their own powers. Even Link, they allow you to like use a bunch of different weapons. So like Link using a sword versus Link using a double-handed axe feels very different to play. But it's a lot of just like run around, smack some dudes, then run over here, smack some dudes, run over here, smack some dudes.
Do you like? I know one of your criticisms of Breath of the Wild was like there's not really story there for you, and there seems to be a lot. At least in the demo, there was a lot of cutscene type stuff. Is that continued and like?
You'll get several cutscenes on every major mission. Obviously, the side missions don't really have anything. In terms of story, it's hard to say what's really the main story seems to be like, they're gonna stop us. And then the champion's going like, we gotta stop them. Like
round up the gang.
Yeah, not too much of a. Well, I mean, I've had the gang together for a bit, and then it's kind of like So sometimes we'll get cutscenes of the villains going like, they're gonna catch us, and then the champions going like, we gotta stop Calamity again and figure out what's going on with stuff and da 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 da. But not a thing of like I guess the biggest like story thing that's happened so far was that Zelda's dad was a dick to her.
Okay. So it's it's not like a nuanced narrative, right?
It's not Miles Morales. It might get there. I am still very curious if it's going to go the like expected way or not, like if they're like doomed regardless of having that like knowledge of the future, or if not having that is going to save them, but we'll find out.
Nope.
Just a quick note on the amiibo support. It seems like the game supports literally any amiibo, but you can only scan 5 a day. If you scan any amiibo, it'll give you just like some random stuff. Whereas if you scan the specific champions amiibos, you will get one of their weapons.
Oh, cool.
And which you can then plug into their other weapons.
They re-released the champion amiibo. So yeah. I managed to pick up the Urbosa, which I didn't have her before. I had Mifa, I had Daruk, I had Rivali, but now I've got Urbosa as well.
I need to get a Zelda one, and I would also very much like a Guardian one.
I want all of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bad.
I don't know if hopefully those will be re-released with Breath of the Wild 2. We'll see.
They have to be.
Unless they're not.
No, they have to.
Lastly,
most of them are actually already out.
Okay.
Not the Guardian though.
Lastly, I haven't seen Zelda.
Yeah, I think they just released the champions again.
Yeah, I think they released champions, not anything beyond that. Lastly, I loaded up some Animal Crossing today for Turkey Day. Just kind of been running around grabbing some stuff to make food, but that is not turkey, because the turkey's the one cooking. It's fine.
I'm sorry, what?
Turkey crimes.
Yeah, the person making the food on Turkey Day is a turkey.
Is it Isabel in a costume?
No, it's an actual turkey. Like the world is full of animals, and you're like, is this one not an actual animal?
I mean, the bunny was not a bunny.
I mean, can you prove it?
Yeah, we don't know what he is, though.
He had a zipper on his back.
Lots of people have zippers on the back.
Specifically for misdirection.
Maybe he is a bunny in a bunny
that's
costume.
Like the evolution of
I'm actually fairly certain
species.
his mouth doesn't move when he talks either, and I think that's supposed to be an indication that he's actually in a suit.
Yeah, Animal Crossing's fine.
It's Thanksgiving, and we're still talking about the bunny.
I'm gonna eat.
I'm curious to check out the Christmas stuff. I think that'll be cute.
Animal Crossing's in that like nebula of, if I don't play this multiple times a week, I shouldn't play it at all. Like right now, it's just there. I felt like I had played it somewhat recently, but going to talk to everybody on Turkey Day, they're like, we haven't seen you in 3 weeks. And I'm like, has it really been that long? Wow.
I haven't logged in since April.
They'll be like, you're dead to us.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
The town burned down. Sorry.
I'm just curious what's going on my island. Like,
Well, that is all the games that we've been playing, which brings us to our Patreon producers. Thank you, Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas, for helping support the show and making our lives a little bit better. Darian, what's your favorite thing about our Patreon producers?
That they always support us, no matter what.
No matter the quality of the episode.
Even if we don't talk about real video game news on our video game news podcast at all, they still support us.
Mine's their smiles.
I've never seen Dragons Lucas's face.
Yeah, well, I like it when they smile.
You've seen
Can
into
you
their hearts.
feel it in your soul?
I feel like that's how that's some Sora talk. I could totally see Sora saying that. Like, I haven't seen my friend's face, but I can feel their smile.
It's beautiful.
Oh,
Not KH3 Sora. KH3 Sora is actually suffering from depression.
Related news that I'm gonna drop in as the only news.
Sneaking in some news.
Apparently, they're making The World Ends With You sequel.
Yeah, I actually.
It's like a remake.
No, it's a sequel.
No, it's a sequel.
Oh, it's a sequel.
Though I will note they are making a anime of the first game. So I own The World Ends With You on Switch. I didn't really enjoy playing it, so I might just watch the anime and then play the sequel.
Fair.
Also, the DLC for Cuphead got pushed back to 2021.
Yep. So that's your news.
That's Patreon producers.
That's your Patreon producer exclusive news. I hope nobody else is listening to that news. That was just for you. But that brings us to the next section.
Do you want to be a part of the show? Go to readysetgamecast.com/submit to submit a question, comment, or your favorite way of drinking coffee for us to read on the show.
Upside down.
Wow, I get it.
Yeah.
It's harder than it looks.
You gotta have 2 weeks training.
I don't get it.
Maybe you will.
Rage play Miles Morales and then tell us.
Rage play it. Yeah. No, it's spite play. Spite play.
Don't be happy while you play this. Don't be emotionally affected by this game other than anger.
I probably won't be, realistically. Aaron asks, what's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? Mine is sweet potatoes and stuffing. Matt, what's your favorite?
There's so many to choose from. I think any form of cranberry it's like that's a quintessential, like I'm not gonna have cranberry on as like a dish on a lot of other meals. In a lot of other meals, and it can be the canberries. I really like the can-shaped cranberry.
Oh, those are good.
But then I also like it when somebody makes like a homemade one with like actual cranberry in it.
You got to get that nice can shape.
The canberry is beautiful. Bryce?
Yeah, Bryce, what's yours?
Darren was kind of gone for a second. Mine's just potatoes and gravy.
Honestly, same.
Wow.
Even when we have Thanksgiving dinners, it's nothing like extravagant. Like we have turkey and ham and mashed potatoes and green beans and corn and stuffing and buns, and that's pretty much it. Like
it's all heavy stuff.
Yeah, we don't do. Yeah, it's very many carbs. We don't do many. Like I've never had cranberries.
What?
Neither side of my family has ever been into cranberries, so I never got that. When I was older. And I think I went to like my ex's family's Thanksgiving and they had cranberry and I was like, what is that? He's like, yeah, he's like, that's the cranberry sauce. Like, what? Weird. So I never really got into that stuff. So same as Bryce, mashed potatoes and gravy. Next question. There's not a person that this is from. So is this the second one from Aaron?
No.
Or
this was just in the document.
Oh,
I don't know where it came from.
How does that happen?
The document. The podcast itself writes.
The self-aware document.
Cool. So they ask, what's your game character ensemble? 3 characters you'd like to have Thanksgiving with. Wow, this one's a thinker.
I want
a
Palico from Monster Hunter. As one of them. They cook, right? The Palicos.
So, okay, are we just suggesting people who are going to like help you make the food or just ones that are going to be there to eat the food with? Because like if we're going food, then like I'd probably want Link there because he's made
he's a pretty good chef.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's like how you want to
cooking mama.
Are you doing the cooking yourself or do you want cooking mama there to do it for you? Yeah. I feel like Kirby's a bad choice. He's just gonna
terrible
take
choice.
everything.
You won't get to eat anything.
Yeah. I like a Palico though. A little cat that can cook.
Okay, so that's one.
That's one.
Here, do we want to do one at a time until we come? Because I have one.
Go for it.
Maybe we can reach a consensus together.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
So mine would be Peter Parker. I think he would be like a real chill dude to hang out with. I wouldn't want to go Miles Morales because I feel like he's too cool for me. Like Peter, I feel like is geeky enough that like we could talk, but Miles, he'd be like, I'm gonna make some beats and be like, you're too cool. I can't. I just can't.
But Miles isn't self-confident. He's like nerdy too, right?
Yeah,
he's like
but
not confident.
But which makes him cooler. See, Peter's like I'm very good at stuff, but also I suck and can't get my life together. Whereas Miles is just like, man, I'm just nailing it. I've got mixed beats. I'm Spider-Man. Like I have all these friends. Name one friend to Peter Parker.
All right, yeah, that's true. He has none. Doc Ock.
Who's the Green Goblin's son's name?
Harry.
Yeah, but he's not around. Remember?
He was sick or something.
Yeah.
Or out of the country.
Sick out of the country. That's sick.
Okay, so Peter Parker and a Palico for Monster Hunter so far.
A writer writes in to say Isabel and KK Slider.
I
don't know about KK Slider.
I'd go Isabel.
He's cool.
Yeah.
KK Slider knows he's cool though.
Yeah, I feel like he's a little bit too cool. Similar to how Bryce thinks Miles Morales is too cool for him. I feel like KK Slider, like he's literally famous.
Isabel's a good choice. She's gonna work hard.
I feel like KK Slider and Miles Morales would get along really well.
Yeah, they'd get along with each other.
Yeah.
Oh, that's chumps.
Like I could have both of those at Thanksgiving and they would get along really well, but I would just kind of be sitting there eating food while they have a good conversation.
So Isabel?
Yeah, I feel like Isabel would get along with anybody.
Yeah.
That's true.
All
yeah,
right.
she even got along with the Doom guy.
We've got a dog, a cat, and Peter Parker. That's who's coming to our Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm not inviting KK.
No, Isabel.
Oh yeah, Isabel's okay. Peter Parker loves animals. Okay, so that's the three we're going with as a group.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Good. Now the pressure's off. I don't have to try to pick a video game character. Turkey Man asks, "What are you thankful for?" My answer is drugs. What about you guys?
Wow.
What?
Coffee in that case.
Ooh.
That also a
coffee's
drug.
a good one. Yeah, caffeine's a drug.
I've been trying to kick energy drinks, but also at the current stage of my life, I am in a position where I have to probably live that addiction because it's a bad time to be me. I am immensely thankful for my girlfriend. She is like a great person and helps me just get through life. And honestly, if it was not for her, like I would probably be not making this podcast or really any content. Just like she edits, but also she like when I come home from a long day of work, she makes food so that I don't like just eat whatever I find. And it's dope. I'm I guess thankful for my friends. I think this point in my life is probably when I've had the most friends, even if they are mostly virtual. But I've even convinced people to play D&D with me in real life, and I'm going to count them.
I've been exposed as virtual. I'm not a real person. Oh no.
Oh,
we've literally met.
yeah, I have met. Yeah, that was so long ago. And like I didn't like know I think
No, we didn't really know each other. We just
I think you recognized me before, but I like when you were like, "Hey, aren't you Last Geek?" And I'm like, "Yes." Like I think you recognized me. I didn't recognize you.
I was like, "That's the guy that's always posting in the Kind of Funny Discord."
Yep. So yeah, I guess I have met both of you in real life. Yeah, and I'm thankful for that, and video games. Video games are dope, and I'm thankful for them. That's what I got.
I too am thankful for family and friends, and I don't like being all.
I will point out
thankful and emotional and mushy. I feel like I'd struggle.
I am not thankful for family. I'm thankful for my girlfriend. I'm not close to my family. Not like I don't like hate them. I just like we don't interact much.
Nailed it.
Yep.
Same.
I prefer the family I choose over the family
That's
that
fair.
I'm born
yeah.
with.
Yeah, you get to choose your friends. You don't get to choose your family. So there's something nice about that.
When I'm like, hey, we should do this as a family, I'm referring to me and my girlfriend. She likes when I do that.
Does she?
Yes. Darian, do you have anything beyond drugs?
Do I have to?
I mean,
I know that's how I feel, kind of, right? Yeah, it's like, oh, I hate this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. I'm thankful for David. He keeps me grounded. He's a pretty good boyfriend, and he deals with my bullshit. I'm kind of a shitty person all around. Like, I'm a tough person to be around because I'm just a mess, and he does it great, and I love him for that. I'm thankful for my pets, too. They're pretty great. I'm thankful that Shaco's not in a cone on this Thanksgiving. That makes me very happy. And my best friend. She's pretty great. Yeah, and you guys.
You already
I'm thankful for you guys too, because
I was really excited to be recording a podcast today. I was on the phone with my best friend for like 45 minutes this morning, and I was like, "We're gonna record a podcast on Thanksgiving." I was so excited.
Why?
Because why not? It feels really fitting for this year, you know? Like this year has sucked, so it's really nice to be able to like come on here and record a podcast with you guys.
Indubitably. Should I go to PAX West next year if it happens?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
I feel like PAX West is the most likely to happen just because
I don't think East is going to happen.
Oh, East is no way.
I normally sell tickets by now.
They say that the general population might get vaccinated by spring or summer, so fall time should be good. We'll see. Well, that is all the questions, comments, and the third thing she said. So this brings us to housekeeping. Go to lastgeek.com for links to the podcast on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, as well as the video version on YouTube. If you like the show, please subscribe, rate, and review it on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps us grow and become more powerful. Other Last Geek stuff you should check out. Dungeons & Gamers is out on YouTube and podcast services everywhere. I believe as of this episode releasing, episode 5 of Dungeons & Gamers will be out, making that the second part of the live stream, also the last episode featuring Teddy Chinaris. So check that out. It was full of randomness and shenanigans. Because people were donating to determine what happened. The story is going to keep going to cool places, so subscribe to it, check it out, give us a shot, and also if you want to stay up to date on what's going on with Dungeons & Gamers, you can follow the Twitter account Dungeons Gamers on Twitter. It's a podcast. That brings us to the end of the Radio Set Gamecast Holiday Special. Where can people find you, Matt?
at Dilbert Pickled on Twitch and Twitter. Darian.
I am a witchy fairy, AWITCHYFAERIE. Nailed it. And I'm on Twitter and Twitch and Instagram, sort of. And my OnlyFans seems to be broken every other week, so that may or may not continue to be a thing.
Yeah, it still doesn't load for me.
I don't understand. Nobody can access it. I reached out to support, and they were like, no, it's fully functional. It seems to be fine. And I'm like, great. Why does everybody come to me and tell me it's broken then?
Do you have like every state blocked?
No, I went in and I was like, okay, did I like accidentally block like my country or something? Like what happened? And no, it's just, I can access it just fine. When I click on the link, pulls right up.
How odd. I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah, I don't know though. Like when I reached out to support, I was like, hey, people keep telling me that this is broken. Like, what's wrong? What do I need to do to change it? Did I break some rules? Like, what happened? And they were like, no, your website seems to be fully functional. They can find you with the search bar. They can access your link through this, like whatever. But I don't understand. It just doesn't work for me right now. I'm very sad about it because I was really excited about this.
It loaded on my browser.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe there was actually something broken and she didn't want to tell me that.
Yeah.
I wonder if they use Amazon Web Services because that was down the other day.
Well, normally when I go to it, it says like this account doesn't exist. So it's not like the actual website was down. It was like Darian's thing was unavailable and like I could go to other people's.
Yeah, just for reference though, like I am going like sub free on January 1st. So if you click on my OnlyFans, you're going to be able to see everything I post. So
how would you feel if David supported people on OnlyFans?
Go for it. I have a pretty open mind in terms of like sex stuff. Like I know it's a very important part of like human life and that as a species we're pretty like a lot of us are very sexually driven and that's just part of our nature, and like learning and understanding that like a romantic relationship and a sexual relationship don't necessarily have to exist mutually exclusively like makes me pretty comfortable with like I don't care if he looks at porn, I don't care if he supports like specific women or random women, like I don't care. Yeah. Because at the end of the day I know he's loyal to me, so like if you find someone whose content you enjoy, even if it's content I don't have to enjoy with you, like it doesn't take anything away from my relationship in my opinion. So
someone I know like is fine with porn but isn't okay with like supporting specific OnlyFans. Like I guess the people on Pornhub aren't real to them, but like an OnlyFans deal, you are supporting that. You're like that specific person. Like that person exists as far as they like you could message them or whatever,
right? Like you're building a relationship or something, because it's like directly supporting.
Yeah, like you have a direct point. Like I can't message the chick on the Pornhub video and be like, hey, but like that's not. Yeah, that's just not an issue for me. But I also wholeheartedly believe that like monogamy isn't for everybody either. Like I think that I could be capable of being polyamorous and David could be too. So what if he speaks to a girl on OnlyFans? Like, well, maybe she gives him something that I can't. Like, I don't have to feel bad about that. Nobody can provide everything for one person. That's why it's important to be in a relationship and still maintain your friendships. Because you can't put that pressure all on your partner. Like, yeah, I don't know. I listen to a lot of sex and relationship podcasts, though, so I have a pretty open mind in terms of that. And now this is one. Welcome to the after the second show. You can follow me on Twitter at LastGeek. You can follow me at Twitch at LastGeekPlays. You can follow me at Instagram at LastGeekPlays. You can follow me at youtube.com/LastGeek. And you should check out the cool stuff I make, like Dungeons and Gamers, which is our coolest, hottest product on the market right now.
And it's a really cool and really hot product at the same time.
Yep. There's cool pictures of our characters that maybe I'll get put on t-shirts. We'll see.
Can I get a t-shirt with Belladonna on it?
Just Belladonna?
Just Belladonna. I think you should do that. I think you should do individual t-shirts for everybody's characters and then also like group outfits.
Do it where like it's Belladonna like front and center and then like everybody else like far in the back.
There we go. Yeah.
Well, that's all we have for you today. Hope your Thanksgiving went well and have a awesome holidays. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.